Is this Duran? It's Duran! I recognize it in like 2 seconds. Why are they all smiling? They're drowning and smiling? This is really disturbing. I don't like this. This is creepy. I'm not saying a whole lot. I'm just kind of vibing. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are returning to the 2000s to check out more mystery openings. I don't know anything that's going to be in these videos, but my friends in the chat, they have worked together to make this list. I really enjoy doing these videos for you guys. You guys seem to really enjoy them as well. I don't really have much more to say, but if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, please consider subscribing, and let me know in the comments below what your favorite opening from this video was, and what other 2000s anime openings you would like to see next. Alright, so let's not waste any time, let's just jump straight into opening number 1 and see what we get. Here we go! Now I've lost it. Dark air than. I have no idea what that's saying. That was hard to read. Darker than black. I like the sound of this. Got a real dirty, grungy sound to it. The opening had that very typical 2000s opening feel as well. The shaky cam. This filter over it. I feel like I've seen that in other 2000s openings as well. Boy, I really like that contrast in the color right there. She is very... Okay. Is this action series? This guy looks very interesting. Okay, I think there's maybe assassins involved. Really like the color here. It's very saturated. Close your eyes. Oh, was that the girl that we saw? Just howling in the shadows. That was really cool. So that was Darker Than Black. Released in 2007 by Bones. That's Bones? Holy shit. I would never have known that. They did Run High School in 2006 and Soul Eater 2 years later in 2008. This is an original series created and directed by Tensai Okamura, who did Wolf's Rain, Blue Exorcist, and you're not now aware that they also did the new My Hero Academia movie. That's crazy. 10 years ago, a spatial anomaly identified as Heaven's Gate appeared in South America and was followed by Hell's Gate in Tokyo. Okay. Altering the sky and wreaking havoc on the landscapes. Contractors soon emerged afterwards. People that have gained special abilities at the cost of a piece of their humanity. Hey, or is it pronounced hey? Hey. It's weird saying that because it sounds like I'm doing an American accent. Operates with a close-knit group of fellow contractors under the orders of the Ruthless Syndicate, performing jobs for the underworld. Oh, it's Hey? Okay, it's just Hey. Performing jobs for the underworld, all the while evading the hunt of the authorities. I would never have gleaned that from this opening whatsoever. I would have guessed that this was a series that was about assassins trying to hunt down the main character, Hey. That's what I would have guessed here, because nothing was really screaming Hell's Gate, Heaven's Gate, and these probably things coming in. They look like police. Yeah, I guess. It's a really interesting one. At the very beginning, you know, we see him, you know, in this really dark location with bright red eyes, followed immediately after by a cat. No, wait, it's a guy. So there's like a red light shining through in all of these shots. The cigarette's shining red. Her eyes are shining red. And then does it show the cat? The song is Howling by Abingdon's Boys School. The vocalist being Tokunori Nishikawa of TM Revolution, who also performed the first opening of Soul Eater, among many others. So that's very interesting. I wouldn't have picked out that sound, like the voice at all. But yeah, no, that's really cool. Yeah, the logo is very interesting because, you know, reading Darker Than, you know, it's very easy to read. But then this black right here, it's a little hard to read, honestly. The B especially, and then the the L into the A, it's kind of like, it kind of throws you off and you have to look at it for a second longer than, you know, most other logos, I guess. But it's a cool logo. It's very bold, it's very in your face, and it uses the red really cool. I like the contrast a lot of times in this opening, like the bright sky with the reds, oranges, and yellows and pinks contrasted by this really dark city. Which maybe the name Darker Than Black is kind of on the nose for, you know, the way that Bones adapted this, and they made the whole look of it look very saturated and very dark. Wait, you can see the big gate in the back, the big thing that looks like it has cranes around it. I thought that was just like a bridge or something. Honestly, that's really interesting. The gates do not look anything like I would have imagined. Or is that like a big wall? That's big ass wall looking over the city. So these big ass walls just showed up one day. I know another series where there's big ass walls where nobody knows where they came from one day. This is really interesting then. I'm guessing this is sci-fi related then, if there's kind of Heaven's Gate, Hell's Gate that just sort of appear out of nowhere. Is there kind of like a sci-fi element as well to this? Because I didn't exactly see anything sci-fi related during this opening. The shots of the city, and these shots especially, like right here, I'm going to mute and play it. But this shot especially just reminded me of picture Technolize, or one of those openings that I checked out in the first 2000's opening video, where it had this really grainy filter over it and it had like a very Y2K kind of feel to it. That's what this kind of reminded me of right here, with the glitchy effect kind of playing into that. And then the contrast of this lady right here in, like, I don't know if it's a pinky purple. I would call this purple, but I don't know if anyone else would call this pink. She's very colorful. Really the only shining color, like bright color, in your face, vibrant color that we see this entire opening, besides, you know, if you want to say the red that we saw at the very beginning, where the cat's eyes, the guy's eyes, the cigarette, you know, there was a lot of like bright red there, but it was only like a single small area, whereas this is very, very big, and it very much contracts what we're seeing in the background. Like this completely destroyed location, like it's almost like it's a war-torn area, kind of reminding me of, I checked out recently the 86 opening 2, and it's kind of reminding me of this kind of background. I know that there's obviously going to be some sort of tension in this series because there's people running around with guns, so I'm just curious if they leveled this location, they leveled this area in hopes of containing some sort of outbreak or something that was within this area, if there was something here and they decided to just level the whole area to try and prevent it from escaping and leaking out into other locations. I do agree that it is a lot cleaner looking than Technolize, but it's, you know, it's still got that same kind of feel, and it's kind of reminding me of that. And also, like, this is obviously widescreen. I feel like some of the other anime openings that we checked out were always 4:3, so, you know, the widescreen as well is like, or not widescreen, full screen, or is obviously a huge indication that this is later 2000s. Saw a huge shit very quickly, more than most. Yeah. I mean, I was watching One Piece, so, or well, not back then, but I watched One Piece and I saw the difference once it went from 4:3 to full screen. It was an immense change and an immense difference. And, you know, I've also seen Soul Eater, so, you know, I've seen some series from the late 2000s that kind of had that cleaner look to them, so I am aware what you mean. Seeing like this kind of background behind her, like through her, is really interesting. I wonder if there's some sort of symbolism that I would be able to learn here if I knew a little more about the series. He looks to be someone who's just dead set on looking forward. He's not looking back. He's not looking around him. He's just focused on his goal ahead. He looks like he hasn't slept in weeks. And this lady that we see on the right here, I don't know if this is kind of related to what comes through the gates, or like what comes with the huge gate that showed up, or if this is someone who maybe he lost and he thinks about and stuff like that. But then, you know, we do see some action and we see moments where he's looking beat up, he's looking like he's been shot almost, followed by seeing all these other contractors. And, you know, right here as well, like I was saying while I was watching this, the way color is done, like used here, is very, very well done here, because like like I said at the beginning of this, the locations are very dark, very black, but darker than black, you could say. But then, you know, they use color very sparingly, and when they do use color, it really shines and it really pops out, and it really stands out, I guess, amongst the rest of this entire opening. So I'm not really sure what to make of the kind of series, whether it's all action, whether it's kind of character driven, or if it's sci-fi. Like I wasn't really able to learn that, but then seeing this like sword with a mask, it has me wondering if there's some sort of sci-fi kind of related thing, because this doesn't look like a sword that we would have seen the characters we just saw using. So it's really, really interesting, and it has the cogs in my brain turning, but I'm not getting any answers, sadly. The song as well, I did really enjoy the song. It was very grungy, it was very dirty and dark, and I really thought it fit the sound very much fit what I was seeing here. It encapsulated everything I was seeing, and it definitely gave me a sense of the feel of this show. And I think that they did a great job matching vocals, instrumentation, and visuals here. They paired everything together perfectly, and it came out as a really cool package and gave me this really good sense of what this show might be about. And I get the feeling that this isn't one where everyone comes away with a happy ending. Like that's the kind of feeling I get when I watched this opening here. But yeah, I do think now I'm maybe going to move on to opening number 2 if we're ready. I'm gonna start it in 3, 2, 1. What's it gonna be? Oh shit. Okay, we're just continuing down this canal. Was that in my ear? That was really weird. I really thought like that was cool. I thought my headset was messing up. Darker Than Black is back. This is a real kick-ass opening. I do like this one a lot. It really gets you, it throws you right into it. You are in no way alone. Oh, he wears a mask. Okay, I see. So he wears a mask, but I'll save it for the end. Oh, the mask is cracked. It's gone. This is just confusing me even more. It's a real badass song. I love the song, and the visuals are so kick-ass too. But the visuals are really confusing me. Is that an alien? Looking out into space? Shooting star. Yeah, this one really confused me. This is the second opening for Darker Than Black, which is Kakusei Heroism, The Hero Without a Name by An Cafe. This one, I really did love this song so much. It was really, like, it just thrust you into it, and it really, like, got you into the nitty gritty, the action. I gotta put this back to the start, actually, just to hear something. Okay, yeah, that part right there had me thinking my headset was broke because I was hearing sound in one ear because my headset has been playing up recently, so I was just really worried that because it was going ear to ear, which is really cool. I do love when music does that, especially anime openings. I feel like there was a ReZero opening or something that I checked out in a recent video that did that. Bro's first experience with stereo. No, it's me just worrying that my headset's not working. Like, that's genuinely the only issue that I'm having. I'm anytime I hear sound in one ear and not the other, I just shit myself. This was I love it. It's really cool. I feel like I said, a ReZero opening did that as well that I checked out recently or something. Seeing the car kind of just like pop into view here, but it has this very Rule of Cool feel to it, and it makes you think that that this is maybe going to be a real, like, it immediately, hearing the song paired with this opening, the visuals, I was going to say, it really made me think this was going to be Initial D, but then also the way that the blue car is, you know, got color along, like, against the the kind of darkness of the background really obviously then makes the cars stand out again. Like the way that these openings have been doing contrast and colors has been really interesting to check out. I feel like there's not many anime openings that I've checked out really that kind of do have as much contrast, and I think that the way that it's been done here has been really cool, because the city in the background here, like, yes, there are a lot of lights and it is lit up, but at the same time it's still very dark, it's still very mysterious, and has us wondering what's going on down over there in that city over there. Darker Than Black logo this time is blue, like a blue outline around it. Before, I think it had like a red outline, so that's really interesting. Oh, it kind of goes between different colors. Okay, not sure if that's important. Hey, over here, he's just chilling on a train. He looks like he's done with life yet again, like just living and continuing as things go on. But then, you know, the real question that I had was seeing him, I assume, wearing this mask that we saw at the end of the opening, the first opening, and then he's fighting off all these enemies. They tie him down and they break his mask. And once the mask breaks, he, you know, you obviously see his face, and he starts, wait, what the hell was that? Give me a second, I'm just confused right now. So the mask breaks, he disappears, like the cloak disappears. Oh, okay, he takes the cloak off and then he shows up and he starts doing some ninja stuff, I guess. This was really cool. It was an absolute really cool badass opening. I think that it gave me a better sense of what this show might be about, because these look to be doppelgangers, some sort of shadows or replicated kind of figures, you know, that embody him or that have his appearance. And, you know, the only way now that we can tell which the real one is the one that's not wearing the mask. And he's fighting them off and he's, you know, it looks like he's taking them down. I was asking before if this was a sci-fi series. I think it kind of probably is. And I feel like these are kind of an indication towards that, because of the different versions. Or maybe that's just symbolic and kind of a metaphor for the sense that he's always at battle with himself. He kind of he's at odds with himself, he's in his head and he's fighting with himself mentally. Not to bring up ancient anime community memes, but he is also referred to as the Chinese electric Batman by fans, namely Giguk. That's funny. Electric Batman, so he's got some sort of lightning abilities then, I take it. I didn't really see that expressed here, but yeah, I see that he's got like the kind of it looked like he had a kind of utility belt and he was shooting off like a grapple hook thing, and we did see that in the first opening as well. I just didn't pay much attention to it because it showed it once and it was kind of like a one-off thing. He's got some abilities in that direction. Interesting. It's really curious because then we see him kind of rappelling away on a kind of like a tower, like an electrical tower or something. And then we see some other characters. We see this girl that we saw in the first opening at the very beginning with the cat that we saw at the very beginning. The cat's adorable, by the way. And then we see this real alien looking girl. I don't know who she is, but she doesn't look natural. She doesn't look human, if you're asking me. She's wearing this like full body suit. Her eyes look very inhuman, I guess. She looks interesting. I can't tell if she's a good figure or a bad figure. The orange eyes are leading me to think she's probably in between, but that could also just be completely wrong. And then we see the cast of characters that we saw at the very beginning of the first opening again, and this time they're looking out into space and they see a shooting star. So looking into space, yet again has me thinking this is probably related to sci-fi. This was a really beautiful opening. Well, I don't know if beautiful is the word, but this is a really really badass opening. The way that the color was done here was really cool, because this time we did get a lot more light, especially during the scenes on the rooftop. You know, it wasn't as dark, it wasn't as saturated as it had been. I think that the song was so badass, and it's gonna take maybe a bit for the song to be topped. I really did like this song, and we'll see if any of the other openings that we check out today can top the song for me. But I do think I'm now ready to move on to opening number 3. Bones had a whole slate of original shows that ran through the decade alongside their high-profile anime adaptations, Full Metal Alchemist, Ouran High School, and Soul Eater. And you'd say both this and the previously mentioned Eureka 7 are the ones that are remembered most fondly. of their anime originals. Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, I'm ready to check out opening number 3. Really curious what we're gonna get. Here we go. Okay. Very different from the previous two. Oh. Okay. This is cool. Oh, I really like that, like the Japanese kind of mural, like old school kind of tattoo effect. Ayakashi. Oh shit. Oh, I love the way that this is drawn too. This is a little trippy. Evil spirits. Oh, I love how beautiful this artwork is. Everything's just presented with so much grace and so much thought. Oh. Is that an evil spirit perhaps? Oh, I don't know what's happening there because of the bit rate. Segment in the air. This Japan is about to explode. This is Ayakashi, released in 2006 by Toei Animation. I know who Toei are. A Japanese horror anthology series featuring 2 classic stories and an original story created by director Kenji Nakamura, Mish favorite Suri Tama, and writer Michiko Yokote. Pinesino favorite Shiro Bako. The song is Heat Island by Rhymester. Yeah, the song was really, really cool. I did really like the kind of blend in genre where it kind of had like this, you know, traditional Japanese feel to it with the, I don't know what that kind of guitar is called, you know, the one that gets played with like the big kind of pick. I'm not sure what that kind of guitar is called or what that kind of sound is called, but it had that like playing throughout, but then it had like this beat that came in, it had like rapping playing, so I really like the blend of genre kind of that played throughout this, and it was a really, really cool one to see unfold and to listen to unfold. The story is Yotsuya Ghost Story, a classic kabuki play of a wife betrayed by her husband who seeks vengeance even in death. The second is Goddess of the Dark Tower, another play of forbidden love between a goddess and a human. And the final and original work is, I'm guessing that's supposed to be Goblin, right? Or is it literally Golbin? Oh, it is Golbin? Okay. With Pinesino typing, I just wanted to make sure he didn't do a typo. And the final and original work is Golbin Cat, the story of a demon with a vendetta against a family that is fended off by a wandering medicine peddler. Yeah, this one was really, really cool to watch. Right off the bat, you know, it did have that kabuki play feel to it. You know, I could have, you know, pieced that together, I feel like, you know, having the kind of shadow against the see-through paper wall, I don't know what that's really called, and then immediately jumping into, I don't know if this is like kanji, katakana. Wow, it's goblin. Well, I'm keeping that whole part in where I ask if it's goblin or golbin then, so that, you know, it's obvious that I asked, and yeah, that's on you guys at that point. I don't know if the text has any significance, if it's kind of like telling us a story or anything, or the name of the series. And then the way it plays out, where we see like these old school, like classic Japanese drawings, like it has that kind of style to it, it has that kind of look, and the way that it's painted as well, like looks like the way you envision classic Japanese artwork. It's really, really cool. And then seeing how it actually is like moving, it's like animated, you know, artwork. It's just really cool to see play out here. So it's just cool seeing like all these different ideas play out. Like, you know, right here we get this shot of the eye being covered, a bunch of eyes showing up, and then some real trippy shit goes down, and then it's right back to his eye. So it's just got like all these ideas, and it really plays with them, and it produces it really like in a really cool way. And I think that the visuals here, like I've not really seen anything else like this from the 2000s or earlier. So I think that with this being 2006 Toei, I'm wondering if this was kind of like something that inspired, like this kind of visual like imagery and all these kind of effects, like if it kind of is what inspired a lot of later series to kind of experiment with their visuals and to present really kind of trippy, you know, weird visuals, because this is really cool one to watch. I love right here that, you know, you get in the background like the classical drawings, like it looks like they've been drawn in a real classical way, and then you get this really like almost realistic looking flower in the background. So it's kind of telling us, I feel like, through the visuals that yes, these are based on classic plays, but they've got a modern spin on them. They've got a realistic kind of spin on them. They've got a spin that's different and that isn't like you've seen before. It's taking something that exists and changing it. Does that make sense? I feel like that's what I'm learning from some of the visuals here, because there's all this classical stuff and then it gets really weird, and the blood splattered on the petals. Don't know what that's about. I love this shot here of her with her hair. That's a spider. Holy shit. I love this shot where, you know, she's there with her hair blowing and then she opens her eyes. I think it was really beautifully drawn. And then as soon as she opens her eyes, we see like this real evil, creepy looking spirit looking thing, and I don't know what it's about. You might as well let us hear you sing. And then here's I'm guessing the goblin cat, or the golden cat if you will. But then right here, I have no idea what's supposed to be happening here, because the bitrate, it ain't it, brothers. The bitrate ain't it. I don't know if it was on purpose or if it's just like, you know, because of the quality, but I don't know what happened here. It's kind of hard to make out what's happening, but it's still really cool to look at. So yeah, this was a really cool opening to check out. I love the song so much. Yo Yo at Midnight, Evil Spirits Stalk, like iconic. Yo Yo at Midnight, Evil Spirits Stalk. Scared senseless, but you pretend not to be interested. I do think this would be a really interesting one to learn more about. I'm interested to know if this is just three episodes like OVA, or if it's, you know, like I don't know what way it is, if it's several episodes but played out differently, like where it's like maybe 12 episodes, 3 episodes, or 4 episodes for each little story. So yeah, really cool opening, really interesting series, and it has me with far more questions than I have answers. So if you guys enjoy the series, let me know in the comments below, and you know let me know if it's as trippy as it looks, because this is crazy. This was a really cool opening. I love the song a lot, actually. It really didn't sound like anything I've ever heard before, so that was really cool to check out. I'm really surprised this was Toei, actually. That's probably the biggest surprise for me. I would have expected this from a different studio that maybe I've seen do experimental work before, but I haven't really seen Toei kind of with that kind of experimental style that I've never seen before. So this is a really cool one. But I love the kind of unique style and look to it, and feel and sound, and just everything was experimental, everything was different, everything was unlike everything I've ever seen before. So this one really is going to be one that I think about, actually. So yeah, let's move on now to opening number 4 for this video. All right, so we are now going to check out opening number 4. Is this the same series? Mononoke. It looks like it's got the same style. I wonder if this was also Toei? The blue moon illuminated. Sorry, if I look confused, I was just really trying to pay attention. Give me a second, my headset is now messing about. Sorry for pausing there. My headset was messing about and I could only hear audio out of my right ear, so I had to fix my headset before continuing, so we're going to continue now. It's got a really interesting sound. It sounds like it's like French almost. I don't know if that makes sense. Think about your faked smile. All the hot tears we shed. Yeah, I really don't know what to make of this at all. Are those eyes? Okay, naked ladies. I love the style of this though. This looks really pretty. It's so creatively drawn. Like the artistry here is incredible. Holy shit, what was that? Oh, that was just an abrupt ending. That almost reminded me of a We Are. This is Mononoke, released in 2007 by Toei Animation. Yep, so I did guess that. So this was a year after Ayakashi, a spin-off of Ayakashi that actually became the much more well-known of the two. Interesting. It follows on from the original story Goblin Cat with Kenji Nakamura back as director and Michiko Yokote as head writer, with additional contributions from Chiaki Konaka, who did Lane and Technolize. Am I wrong in saying that there was a movie Mononoke like in the past year or two, or with this kind of same look to it? Am I wrong? The nameless medicine peddler traverses feudal Japan in search of malevolent spirit Mononoke to slay. His exorcism ritual requires him to make contact, observe, and understand the Mononoke before defeating them. This process involves in-depth psychological analysis and careful investigative work, regularly endangering his own life in the process. Yeah, this animation looks incredible. A Mononoke movie is releasing on Netflix soon. And is that just a retelling of this? Or is it like taking the episodes, enhancing them and packaging them into one movie? Like, is that what's happening with that? Oh, it's a new thing entirely. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, the visuals here were absolutely stunning. Like, I really can't get over the visuals in this opening. The sound as well, it really surprised me because I don't know why or how, but it made me think that this was going to be some, like, obviously the visuals, you see the visuals immediately, you think like classic Japanese, but then the song sounds like French or something. I don't know how or why, but it does. It's 17 years later. A recap after that long of a break would be insane. So I do really think that it's really cool seeing Toei doing this. Everything I've checked out that Toei have done so far in this channel, this is the most like artistically creative pieces, I guess, that I've seen them do so far. Like, obviously everything they do is creative, everything they do is artistic, but this is like so different and so out there from anything else I've ever seen them do. So this has been an absolute treat and so cool to see as a fan of some Toei productions. So I really actually do like, I've really enjoyed watching these. The song is The Waning Moon by Ryouta, Komatsu, and Charlie Kosei, who did Lupin the Third Part 1 opening. I do remember that name, Charlie Kosei, because I thought it was funny because, you know, amongst all these, you know, Japanese names, there was just a guy called Charlie in there. I thought it was very funny. But that's so cool. Like, bring it back to Lupin the Third. You know, you got it back in my head. I actually did manage to get it out of my head. It was gone, but now it's back. So thank you, Pinesino. You've now got that earworm back in my head yet again. Really cool though. I wouldn't have been able to tell this was the same singer, funnily enough. Let me listen to a little bit of it again. Yeah, I would never have been able to tell this was the same singer, but it's got that same like groovy, bluesy kind of feel to his voice, I guess. Because you know, I don't know. It's the same voice, obviously, but I wouldn't have been able to pick that out. I am also like notoriously bad at picking out singers that I've heard before. Like, if you check any other video on my channel, if I hear a female voice, I might be like, oh, is that Lisa? You always thought it was Sanji's voice actor singing it for the longest time. That's really funny. I could hear that though. I can definitely hear it. I wonder if everything we're seeing in these visuals are related to one of the Mononoke that he has to face down and, you know, kind of deal with. Like, everything here looks so specifically placed that everything has to have a purpose. It's just there's so much here that it's hard to pick out, but I imagine everything here is related to something he has to observe, something he has to learn from and understand, and it's related to the Mononoke themselves. This series, like the previous series, would be classified as a horror series too. That's really interesting. Too bad Halloween is coming past, because this looks like it could have been a really, really interesting one to check out for Halloween. I love the look of it, I love the feel, and I love how beautiful it is. The singers across both openings have done such a great job. The first one, the one prior to this, was a rapper, but they did a great job. The visuals have been some of the most stunning I've honestly ever seen across anime openings. Like, this is incredible. I'm just now realizing as well that this only came a year later, but this is in full screen. The one before it, the anthology series, was 4x3. So this makes me even more interested in checking out this specific one, not the obviously I'd want to check out the one prior because it's a precursor to this series, but I'd really be curious to see how Toei did that transition between 4x3 standard definition to HD full screen. That'd be a really cool way to check out that transition, because I did mention earlier that I did watch One Piece, and One Piece obviously goes from 4x3 standard definition to full screen HD, and that's a really cool part of One Piece when you're watching it, that sudden change and like that feeling of like, holy shit, we're now into full screen era. So it would be really cool to see another Toei piece kind of do the same thing, but with this unique style. I wonder if the anime itself also looks like this. I imagine it does, because it's so unique looking that it'd be a shame if it didn't actually look like this. But this was a really, really cool one to check out. I think that I was saying Darker Than Black opening 2 might be my favorite song, but I did honestly really like these past two as well. So it's hard to pick a favorite right now, but in terms of visuals, I think this and the one before it absolutely take the cake. They have been so creative and so in your face with the color and the use of imagery. It's really, really cool. It's definitely got one of the most unique looks in the medium. I don't know if it's any good, but I'd be really interested in checking it out, honestly. I think now I'm ready to check out opening number 5. This was an amazing one. I'm really, really glad we got to check this out, because this honestly kind of like blew me away with the visuals. 3, 2, 1. Oh, this sounds very grand. What is this? Is this Mazinger Z? Zed, sorry? Is he back? Can't believe I said Z. Who is that? That was kind of a crazy design right there. The Guardian. The design's still so cool. Love the design. Love seeing that it came back in a new era as well. That's badass. Oh, and it looks. Oh, there's a really cool adaptation of the designs. This song's so good too. The half-drawn face is really creepy. Whoa, I don't know if he was good. Oh, what was that sound? Sounded like an engine revving, but also like Godzilla. I gotta hear that again. Let me. Is that a sound that Mazinger Z makes themselves? Also, it's definitely Z, because they said Z in the first opening for Mazinger Z that we checked out on the 70s playlist, so I don't want to hear any of this Z nonsense. This is Shin Mazinger, or Mazinger Edition Z, The Impact. We skipped TNA and went to Impact. Released in 2009 by B Media and Code, never heard of either. Directed by Yasuhiro Imagawa, known for several Retro Mecha reboots, also head writer on Berserk 97, shit, really? And based on the original series by the one and only Go Nagai. This is the second opening, the song being The Guardian by Jam Project, who did One Punch Man Opening 1, Gods of Retro, Mecha Revivals, and Tokusatsu openings. This is a retelling of the 70 series that incorporates elements from Mazinger's subsequent sequels, spin-offs, and even the guy's other works like Devilman. Oh, while maintaining the original plot. I don't know what Peanut's doing out there, but he's up to some nonsense. I think he just knocked over a chair. While maintaining the original plotline, in essence, an ultimate version of Mazinger, chock full of fan service for long-timers and the potential to reintroduce the series to a new generation. From what I've gathered, it's beloved by long-time fans, but you haven't fully checked that out yourself. Okay. This opening itself was so kick-ass, badass, and in your face. Is this the series? Is it Mazinger Z that has the villain Dr. Hell, or is that another another series? It was okay. That's Dr. Hell. I'm guessing that's who the Two-Face guy was. Was that Dr. Hell? Because they're the only character that looks villainous in this entire series, it's really creepy that they've kind of got this Two-Face appearance, but then they split into two, like literally. I'm wondering if that's literal or if it's kind of just an on the nose symbolic kind of two split personalities kind of thing because of the two different appearances on their face. That's actually another one called Baron Ashura. Shit, he's there near the beginning in red gear. Hell Dimension. There he is. There's Dr. Hell. I found Dr. Hell. It took a while, but I found him. Is this guy got no head on the left? Is he holding his head? What's up with that? Yeah, this was a really, really cool opening, actually. This was really fun to check out after seeing the original 70s opening, because it still has that, the designs, they do look retro-esque. So it's nice seeing the callbacks and how it's nice that they didn't completely change everything, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I really like that the designs stayed true and faithful to the original designs, because the designs in Mazinger Z, while I was checking out the 70s opening, I was saying I really love the look of the mech. I really love the look of the designs of the characters, and I'm really glad that we still get to see that in this opening. Like, despite the fact it's in 2009, they look like they're just almost remastered versions of the 70s characters, and I really do love that. It's really nice to see. I'm sure if I was a fan of the series, and for fans of the series, it was nice to just jump into a series that was very familiar, but retelling the original story, obviously. In your face and hype is Jam Project's house style. You'll take any opportunity to get one of theirs in there, absolutely, because One Punch Man, it's a shame I've seen Hero, because that would have been a really, really kick-ass opening to check out for the first time on here. And they really do deliver real hype, high energy action feeling, like I'm gonna get you up to this point kind of instrumentation and songs, and I have really enjoyed everything I've checked out of theirs. This is kind of like how the Final Fantasy VII Remake series has incorporated the stuff from the compilation series while still mostly following the original. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Then also for fans of the series who watch the original 70s, but then also checked out everything that came out after, they're also being rewarded for checking out that other content, because it is being reproduced and repurposed, I guess, in this anime as well. So it's kind of like an altogether best of Mazinger. Like it's a best of series, and I do think that that's really cool. I do have one question for Pinesino, and I do hope you'll answer for me. So kind of like with Devilman, the original anime for Devilman and the manga for Devilman definitely went split into different directions, and Devilman Crybaby is more of a faithful adaptation of the darker tones that the manga Devilman had. Is that kind of, did Go Nagai's Mazinger Z have a darker feel if it was a manga? Was it a manga even? And like, is this more like what he had in mind, or was the original anime series kind of already what he had in mind, and was it kind of like the perfect adaptation of Go Nagai's Mazinger Z? Like, I don't know, I can't remember how that played out. The manga and anime were much closer. Okay, this is just kind of incorporating all the fault. Well, that's cool. I really like that. I like that it felt like a follow-up to Mazinger Z. I like the original anime opening that I checked out. I like that it didn't feel so vastly different. I like that it felt like the same series. And yeah, I can't get over how clean and slick these designs are. Like, look at him. He looks so good. What's his name? Because, like, I love this adaptation of his like character design. I think it looks so cool, and I love that it still has that 70s character design look to it, but modernized. It's just really, really cool to see done here, and I'm not going to get over just how well it looks, I guess. Also seeing, you know, the fists go flying. I remember that was kind of a big thing in Mazinger Z, where Mazinger Z kind of like splits up into different parts, and like, you know, the fist goes flying like a rocket punch kind of thing. So seeing those little elements incorporated in this opening again were just really cool. And, you know, obviously I'm not someone that's seen Mazinger Z, but as someone who saw the original 70s opening, this felt very rewarding, funnily enough, and I can't imagine then how that would make an actual fan of the series feel. So yeah, absolute great opening here. I loved as well the sound that played at the very end. I am curious if that's a sound that Mazinger Z like itself makes, or if it's kind of just like revving up an engine sort of thing, or just a cool sound. The main character is called Koji Kabuto, who also is famous for an episode title in the original being Koji Kabuto dies in a volcano, where he in fact lives. Oh no. Think of that one episode of One Piece where they kind of spoil something before it actually is confirmed to happen right at the end of the episode. Oh god, Koji Kabuto dies in a volcano, where he in fact does not die in a volcano. That's really funny. But yeah, we need more Jam Project in these videos, because Jam Project brings the heat. They bring the boom. That's what they do. They bring... Oh, there it is. Peanuts just burst in. Oh, it's actually Koji Kabuto dies in magma. I see. It was a kind instead, yeah. Alright, let us now check out opening number 6. We are now halfway through this video. Really exciting that we still have 5 more to come. This one is a bit risque. Ooh. I gotta put a filter over the titties is what I'm hearing. Alright, here we go. Opening number 6. What are we gonna get? Okay. In your face. She's a girl with the current fashions. Is this Cutie, honey? I don't know. It is, honey! It is! I recognize the song! This is a redoing of the original Cutie Honey song too. That's so cool. Okay, I see the risque. Oh, it's so cool. Okay. Don't look at me. Honey Flash. OX? Was there just like a resurgence of classic anime adaptations in the 2010s? She's a girl who's so popular. With a perky bust, yep. I love that it's the same song too. It's so cool. She looks like she's popping off right here for sure. I love that design too. Oh god, okay, yep. That was crazy. Honey Flash. I'm going to change. Pretty sure that's what she would say in the original too. This was okay. I gotta find a. Let's see if we can find a frame that. Okay, we find a frame. We find a frame, guys. This is Cutie Honey, released in 2004 by Gainax, who did Eva, Fulikuli, Gurren Lagann, and Toei, also who did the OG Cutie Honey. This is a 3-episode OVA overseen by Hideaki Anno, really? And based on the original series by that dastardly Go Nagai once again. Damn that guy producing classic series. A modern retelling of the battle. I can't read. A modern retelling of the battle between Honey Kisaragi and the devious Panther Claw, this time with the addition of Inspector Natsuko Aki, who fights to bring the Claw to justice and must work with the vigilante Cutie Honey to do so. They grow very close in the process. Wasn't there also like Sister Lucy or something? Wasn't that like a villain in Cutie Honey, or like Nun Judy or something? Like there was something like that, right? This is both based on the original 70s series and Anno's own live action Cutie Honey film that released 2 months prior. Sister Jill leads Panther Claw. Okay. I see, I remember things. With Anno heading the overall project. Each episode was handed to its own director. Episode 1 was Hiroyuki Imaishi, who did Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill, and Edge Runners. Holy shit, okay, that's a stacked lineup right there. Number 2 was Naoyuki Ito, who did Overlord. And number 3 was Masayuki, who did Eva Rebuilds 1 to 3. I didn't say Kill la Kill, I say Kill la Kill, like I paused. I said not ah. I know it's Kill la Kill. This gives each episode its own unique feel, but I can't deny my bias in saying the first is my favorite by a country mile. It's like Kill la Kill before Kill la Kill. That's really cool. The song is Cutie Honey by Kumi Koda, who did Black Clover opening 4. Only finding this out now, that's really cool. Of course, it's the same song from the original. Yeah, I recognized it in the first 10 seconds. I'm pretty proud of myself because sometimes it takes me a lot longer. Like, I don't know if anyone's been following my Devilman Crybaby reactions, but when it started playing the opening from Devilman, it took me quite a bit to recognize that it was the same song, which was kind of embarrassing, honestly. I think that compared to the previous opening that I checked out, Mazinger Z. Obviously, Mazinger Z didn't use the classic song. It didn't repurpose that song. It had an original song. But I feel like, I might be crazy for saying this, but I feel like Mazinger Z's, like the look of the series and the feel of it looked much more faithful to the original than this one did. Though this one did still look pretty faithful. I just feel like to compare the two, I feel like Mazinger Z's to me looked a little more faithful in terms of designs and like the use of color and stuff. And this one is very bright in your face. Like the colors are vibrant, they pop. And obviously in the original opening, we saw Cutie Honey in a bunch of different outfits. We saw Cutie Honey stripped down a bunch as well. Like there's nothing in this opening that we didn't see in the original. But I guess it's because it looks a lot more modern that it's it kind of is. I don't know if this makes sense, but the style of this opening, like the look of the characters, is reminding me of Totally Spies. I don't know if that makes sense, but the look of the characters and stuff in this opening, it's just making me think of Totally Spies opposed to like Cutie Honey from the 70s. You feel like between them, this replicates Nagai's original style the most, but not the 70s anime. Also, if you find the reporter guy in there, he looks like identical to Koji Kabuto. Let us look for him. Okay, yeah, there he is. Yeah, he does look very similar, actually. He looks like a creepy Lupin the Third, almost. I don't know. But yeah, this was a really, really fun opening to check out. I think that checking out an opening for, like, it's hard to go frame by frame here because I feel like I'm just going to land on something that's going to get me banned on YouTube. So I'm just going to keep it paused here and try and talk about what I remember opposed to going by and selecting different frames and talking about what I see. I'm going to try and go off the dome here, so forgive me if I forget about talking about anything in this opening, but I love the kind of different styles. Like this style right here, it's very different from some of the rest of the openings, and I guess that's kind of reflective then of the different styles in each episode because it's a 3-part OVA with 3 different directors, so I think that it's kind of cool that they kind of present different styles in the opening itself, and that in itself kind of might reflect the different styles that the directors incorporate into the works. Really, really cool opening. I love the song just being redone here. It's obviously the same song, but it's redone and repackaged and made to feel more modern and made to feel like it fits in with the style of the visuals here. It's more kind of hyper poppy. Well, not hyper pop, but it's a lot more poppy and it sounds a lot more hypey, I guess. This opening really has Imashi energy to it. Like this slots right into the Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill. Sorry, Kill la Killa. I'm joking. I wouldn't really be familiar, but yeah, I think that seeing as well the designs right here, like this kind of looks more like the design that I remember from Cutie Honey, where she has this like bra, like with the heart window on it, and then seeing, sorry, that was not what I was looking for. Seeing this right here, I'm guessing this is like, what is it, Sister Jill? This design is sick. This design makes me think of like Devilman, honestly, but I think that is a really, really cool look. It's a really cool look, and it's really Go Nagai core, I would say. So great job to the people who created this opening and this series. I'm sure that with it being overseen by Hideaki Anno, it's great. I'm sure that the directors, all three that were listed, you know, did great works. I know Pincino would disagree, but yeah, I think that this is probably a really, really cool series to check out. Considering it's only 3 episodes, it's probably really, really well done, and I'm sure that it's kind of I'm sure this was almost like a passion project, or like a series or a project for the 3 directors that they were really invested in, because I'm sure they grew up with the original series, or they would have watched the original series alongside, you know, anyone else in the 70s, and now to work on this series was probably a huge deal for them. Also needs repeating, Anno put out a whole ass live action film the same year. Yeah, was that like, I know Anno did like a bunch of like Shin movies, like he did Shin Godzilla, he did like, what was it, Shin Kamen Rider, and like other stuff. Was this related to that project, or was that entirely different? Oh, those were many years later. So this was the precursor to Anno's later live action works. That's really cool. He has a fair few live action films under his belt. Yeah, I wouldn't really be familiar. The only live action Anno film I've seen is Shin Godzilla, and that movie is a damn near masterpiece. That movie is so good. I love it so much. I'm not going to talk about it though, because we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this opening, and this opening was badass. This opening was so cool, and it was really, really fun. And like I said during Mazinger Z's opening prior to this, as someone who checked out the 70s anime opening for Cutie Honey, this was really rewarding then to see this in like more modern style. Like, it was really rewarding to check out, and I think that for fans of Cutie Honey, this was probably really cool to see, and I hope that they enjoyed the series, because this looks like a very faithful reboot or retelling, but obviously with the modern style and modern twists, and you know, that just makes it more interesting, honestly, because that way it's taking material that you already know but putting a little spin on it. I think that's really cool. But I am now ready to move on to opening number 7. Let's not waste any time and get straight into this one. Ooh, okay. Oh, eyeballs. Okay. Oh, what's it gonna be? Very jazzy feel. I do really like this. XJX Kemonozume. Don't know how to pronounce that. Ooh. Ooh, this is really cool. Oh, I love how fluid this animation is. Holy shit. That's incredible. Was this like really end of the 2010s? Because this looks crazy. This looks so good. I love the way they're using this kind of framing here as well. It's really cool. Oh. Auvers blue. I can't really tell what I'm seeing in this, but this is really cool opening. I love the animation here. This looks so good. And this is really catchy. It's a real earworm. I love this bluesy feel. They're reaching for something. Is this like a group? That was really cool. This kind of like graffiti-esque style, funnily enough, reminds me kind of Gachakuda, or Soul Eater, you could say. This is Kemonozume, released in 2006 by Madhouse, and directed / written again I'm so disappointed in myself. Let me tell you why. These eyes right here. I saw these eyes and I was like, this is Yuasa. 100%. This is reminding me of Tatami Galaxy. And I didn't say it. I did not say it. I'm so disappointed in myself because I saw these eyes and I just immediately thought Yuasa. Oh, I'm gutted. I'm so annoyed. Oh, the one time he was right is right. Yeah. Oh, I immediately thought of Tatami Galaxy as soon as I saw these eyes. I don't know why. I just thought of Tatami Galaxy. And as soon as I thought of Tatami Galaxy, I thought of Yuasa. And I was going to say it, but I held on to my tongue and I didn't say it. I'm so disappointed. I'll finish reading the rest of what you said. Written and directed by Yuasa. So this is an anime original series. Interesting. The song is Auvers Bleu by Katteni Shiyagare. So funnily enough, earlier you mentioned that the opening for Mononoke reminded you of the singer, reminded you of Sanji's voice actor. This reminded me of Frankie's voice actor. That's what I was hearing while I heard this opening. So that's funny. The Shokujinki have secretly lived amongst humanity for centuries. Creatures that appear human yet are able to transform into beasts with gigantic claws that consume humans for survival. Kifuken is a dojo that specializes in killing them by cutting off their arms. Yeah, we saw a part where there was kind of this creature monster that had no arms and then arms appeared out of it. So I see. I'm seeing what you're throwing down. Thank you, Peanut. Did anyone hear that? Peanut blessed me. And it's crucial in checking their ability to pursue world domination. This complicates the relationship of Toshihiko, an heir to the dojo, and Yuka, a Shogojinki who only realize each other's identities after falling madly, deeply in love. Ooh. So I think what's really interesting about this opening is that it is very colorful, obviously, but, you know, it has this very Yuasa just dripping in style kind of appearance where, you know, we get like this really creatively, artistically illustrated, like drawn kind of style with plenty of detail, as well as like let me wind it back here a little bit. Like I'll mute. When did this come out? Like, this was 2006 and you got this fluid animation. That's incredible. Yuasa is a master. I don't know. I don't know how much I can express. Like, Yuasa is just like one of the best at directing that I've seen, for sure. Like, everything I've seen has just been absolutely incredible. This and Kaiba 2 years later are like his style in pure essence, at least in TV form. I think that the use of color here, obviously something that Yuasa has always used in his openings. Like, any Yuasa project that I've seen, the color has been in your face. The color has been so incredibly spectacular. Like, it's just a feast for the eyes. And the way that everything is always drawn, it always has this really cool, unique style to it. It looks very different from anything else that I'd ever seen. So, you know, Yuasa is very identifiable right off the bat, and I'm really disappointed in myself that I didn't actually say or ask, is this Yuasa? I didn't do it because I normally make a fool of myself by asking such questions, so I just kept it to myself this time. Although it shows us a lot, it's still also pretty difficult to figure out what's happening, because yeah, I can see now, like, we do see shots here. Like, it looked like this guy was chopping something off, flying through the sky with, like, a sword. Kind of picture, like, the effects in Demon Slayer, you know, like, doing cartwheels through the air with the effects. That's kind of what this is reminding me of. And then, you know, we cut to this shot right here where this monster has no arms, but they suddenly appear. So that's got me wondering then, if the whole point of this series is that they cut off arms to defeat them, how is this one's arms able to reappear? Is that kind of like this huge thing? Is that something that I'm supposed to be questioning? Or is that kind of just like to show that, you know, it doesn't have arms? Like, I don't know what to recognize from this here or to gather from it, but seeing it transform into this hideous beast is really fun. I love this scratchy pencil style, and then seeing like them kind of blow up into having these huge bellies. I don't know what that's about. I guess it's maybe showcasing how they have a human appearance, but inside there's nothing human about them. I don't know if that's what it's about. You know, I see the claws there. Yeah, it's just so artistically creative, so dripping in style, and I love it so much. Like, that's reminding me of a bloody I can't even speak. JoJo opening too. That shot right there with the hands reaching out with this kind of style and effect. I wonder if the team that did JoJo opening 2 was inspired by this shot right here. Would be pretty cool if they were. I'm guessing this is the main crew. I really like their appearances. It does, honestly, like the look of this kind of reminds me of Gachikura. I don't know if anyone here is also reading Gachikura and they can relate to that. Let me know, because I just like to know that I'm not alone in thinking that. There's also a shot like that with the hands reaching up in the Devilman Crybaby opening. So true, there actually is. I love it when they have self-referential like moments like that, like Dandadan opening. Obviously Dandadan isn't being directed by Yuasa, but the shot of Okarin running is obviously reference to Devilman Crybaby, like the run. So I just think it's really cool to see like little moments like that. And Yuasa obviously has a lot of great works under his belt and so much creativity under his belt, so it's really cool to see. Also, this real bluesy sound, the piano keys, the jazzy feel to it. Like, is that like a saxophone, trumpet, trombone? I don't know my instruments. And just the real swingy sound to it really just gets your body moving, and it's really, really cool to check out. And I think that this opening was an absolute blast, and I love that we've been checking out a lot of Yuasa stuff lately, because Yuasa is an absolute badass when it comes to anime, and I really would like to check out more Yuasa works on the channel. So let me know what your favorite Yuasa work is in the comments below. I would love to hear it. Obviously for me, I haven't got a whole lot, so I can't really answer that. So let's just now move on to the next opening. I do wonder what we're going to get next. Vote ping pong. This is going to be opening number 8, and we're just going to jump right into this and see what we get. Immediately. Is this Duran? It's Duran! I recognized it in like 2 seconds. Hell yeah. Gonzo. Oh, hell yeah. I love this already. It's so cool. I need to turn this down a little. It's very loud. What is happening in this? That was interesting. Okay. Girls on film? This is a very girl boss heavy opening for sure. There's been no shortage of girls, and that's a weird shot. Okay, DNA. Oh, I love that shot. Oh, I love the way that they're doing the color now. It's very much contrasting the backgrounds. Red hand, painting a red hand on? Representing like dirty deeds, I guess. The red car. Oh, that was really cool. Yeah, that was I don't even know what anime this was, I'm gonna be honest. Speed Grapher. Okay, I just had to put it back a little bit. This is Speed Grapher, released in 2005 by Gonzo, who did NHK, Hellsing, FMP, Bokurano, an original series directed by Kuni Hisa Tsukishima Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, that's really interesting. And written by Shin Yoshida, who did a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Naruto. The song is Girls on Film by Duran. Not seeing any more anime work from this unknown group. Yeah, interesting. I really thought that this opening, this anime song itself was so good that it's a shame that Duran didn't go on to do like another anime opening. Like I really think that they could have kind of picture Beastars, but throw in Hungry Like the Wolf, like why is that not a thing yet? 10 years after the Bubble War, the divide between rich and poor has only grown. Former war photographer Saiga now works for the police in hyper-capitalist Tokyo and is tasked with infiltrating an ultra-rich club. There, he is caught and brought before a ritual-performing girl named Kagura. This contact awakens within Saiga a newfound power, the ability to explode whatever he manages to photograph. Saiga vows to use this power to expose the secrets of the club, Kagura, and the city's underbelly. So really interestingly enough, while I was watching this opening and the kind of visuals I was seeing and the way it was really like creative and stylistic, it was reminding me of I can't remember what it was called, but it was like, opening 2 of, it's the one with the police officers, and it's really creative, and the song is like what was that series called? Oh, I can't think, but it was reminding me of that. Psychopaths, that's the one. This really did remind me of Psychopaths quite a bit, actually, this opening, because I feel, you know what, actually, this shot right here actually does kind of remind me of the Hellsing opening. I can see that this is Gonzo right here for sure. And then shots like that, I don't know what's going on there. The character designs do look kind of familiar. Like I can see that the team that worked on Hellsing also worked on this, so that's really cool to check out. I think that also the way that I think right here it kind of is cluing us in that he can take a picture and explode things, because that's what we see, I assume, happening right here. We see a picture, we see an eyeball with the veins kind of exploding, and then this explosion of color. So I think that's kind of what this is showing us. It's literally showing us his power in the opening itself, so that's really cool to check out. Hearing the shutters go off as we're seeing like a bunch of what look like pictures being taken, and then seeing this kind of film reel, and then learning later on that the whole point of this anime is that any picture he takes, like whatever the subject matter is, will explode. I think that the choice of song was incredible. Like Girls on Film, he's taking pictures, genius. Like they couldn't have picked a better song if they tried. I guess they could have done Look at This Photograph, Nickelback, but that would have completely missed the mark, and it would have flopped, and it would be nowhere near as good as this. Duran, yeah, great song, great opening, and I love hearing that in this song, and just the immediate hearing the shutter sound, and just being like, is this Duran? And then just immediately hearing Duran like right after was really rewarding, honestly. It was a really cool moment. I'm not gonna lie. It's a bunch of wackos with powers like that running around and fighting each other. Yeah, this series, I had never heard of it before. What's it called? Speedgrapher? Yeah, I've never heard of it, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, I don't know if this is a well-regarded series or not, but the opening itself is kick-ass, and I love the kind of imagery presented. Like, we got to see like she's weirdly touching herself, and then she's being really explicit kind of with her gun, like it's kind of being suggestive, and then we see all these girl bosses doing their thing, and some interesting characters right here. You think modern anime fans aren't too versed in 2000s originals regardless of quality? Yeah, fair enough. Seeing like shots like these, like this right here, I don't know why, but this is reminding me of Bleach. Like, I'm seeing Bleach right here, like a Bleach character design, and then seeing the background like a solid color is reminding me of like a Bleach opening. So I think that it's really cool. Like I think that kind of look is really crazy, and it looks really great. Please get me out of here and run. interesting. I don't know what that's about, but it looks like a kind of like burn after reading kind of look. And then seeing the colors changing and characters showing up and, you know, all this contrast. It's really, really cool to see. I don't know what Bleach anime would have just started a year prior. Interesting. Seeing her painting her hand red and then having all these red prints all over the side of the screen kind of indicates that she gets her hands dirty and she is involved in a lot of bad stuff. I wonder if she is Kagura. I don't know who Kagura is. Maybe it's another character, but it is also maybe her because, you know, it's kind of like having blood on your hands is what this looks like, but you know, it's being presented in a stylish way where it's like she's painting it on. So it's almost telling us that despite having this blood on her hands, it's of her own accord. It's something that she chooses to do. Like she's literally painting it on herself opposed to it just being there. Like she's put it there. So she's responsible for herself, I guess. Kagura Bachi anime coming next year for sure. Fall season, lock it in. Studio Bones, lock it in. This is a really cool opening. I love it when there's like Western music used in anime openings. I also love, obviously, like more than anything, like anime original songs. Like that's like my bread and butter. Like I love checking those out. But whenever wait, Bones is doing Gachakuda? I did not know that. Holy shit, that's cool. I have heard nothing about anything. Okay, well, if Bones is doing Gachakuda, then it's gonna be Madhouse for sure. This is my third time realizing this. Well, you know what? There'll be a fourth. Don't you worry. There's just something about hearing like Western songs that I'm familiar with, that I grew up with, in anime openings or endings. Like it's just really, really cool. I would love to check out more like that, where it's just like got a song that I'm already familiar with just playing in the background. I'm sure that endings are probably more familiar or more likely to do that. Like I'm thinking JoJo, like the endings for JoJo are all you know, Western songs, most of which I knew prior to watching the anime. So I think that I'd love to check out more of those kind of things. But you know, this was such a cool opening, very interesting series. I don't know really what to make of it. I don't know if it's like I didn't really learn a whole lot about the series itself, but I loved the opening. It was really, really cool. And I am now ready to move on to the penultimate opening for this video. Opening number 9. Really excited. And I'm just raring to jump right into this thing. 3, 2, 1. What's it gonna be? Oh, this sounds older. I know, I recognize this sound. Why are they all smiling? They're drowning and smiling? This is crazy. This is really disturbing. I don't like this. This is creepy. Why? Yo. This is really creepy. This looks like Satoshi-Kon, so I'm gonna guess this is Paranoia Agent. Because this is reminding me very much of Paprika. This is really creepy. I just had a face on my face this whole opening. Holy shit. Oh yeah, there he is skating up. Yep. Okay. That was batshit insane. Okay, so obviously that was Susumu Hirasawa. Like I recognize the sound immediately. I was just listening the entire time, and I know Hirasawa also did the soundtrack for Paprika. Also did the soundtrack for Berserk 97, which I'm very familiar with. So I recognize the sound immediately. And this is Paranoia Agent. So I was correct. Released in 2004 by Madhouse. They're back at it again. And directed / created by the late and great, sorely missed for sure, Satoshi Kon. Gone far too early for sure. The song is Dream Island Obsessional Park by the Susumu Hirasawa, who did Berserk, Paprika, and Millennium Actress. I'm not familiar with Millennium Actress at all, so that's like the one series there that I don't know. But yeah, that was crazy. That opening made me feel uneasy and unsettled and just disturbed from the get-go. Like, there's not a whole lot to analyze from the visuals of this opening, like, at all. Like, I'm not going to spend much time, I don't think, analyzing the visuals, because for the most part it was just the same characters being cycled in and out. Oh, it's a series, it's a film. Okay, yeah. Like I said, I don't actually know Millennium Actors. Disturbed from the get-go. What? The visuals were very much just cycling in and out the same characters over and over again in different situations, laughing, just staring into my soul, just laughing. But in all these different situations that, you know, some of which looked kind of life-threatening. Like, there was a guy on the moon. There was just a guy on the moon. There was a guy, like, someone drowning. There was someone on top of a building. There were several people in the middle of traffic. Like, I don't know. I didn't like it. This one was creepy and weird. I say I don't like it. I loved it. This was a great opening. This was a great opening at making me feel something. I feel like openings, you know, a lot of openings that I've checked out, they've got me hyped. They've got me smiling. This is really the first opening that I've checked out on this channel that just unsettled me immediately and just had me feeling like, ugh, I don't like it. And I loved it so much. I loved that it got that emotion out of me. I loved that it got that feeling out of me. And I love that I was able to experience this for the first time right here today, because I've never seen anything like this in an anime opening. It like I said before, it didn't have a lot in terms of visuals, but the way it was presented was so clever. It was so well done, and it was a great package deal, I guess. Musahino City is terrorized by a mysterious assailant that stalks the streets on rollerblades and beats bystanders down with a golden baseball bat, earning the name Shonen Bat. His first victim is meek and timid Tsukiko Sagi, who discovers that others suspect her involvement in the emergence of the menace as the attacks continue. Imagine being beat up only to have people suspect you're part of it, like part of the plan. Like, what? Two detectives work to uncover the identity of the attacker, their search hastened by the mounting paranoia agent enveloping the city as more and more victims arise. I'm guessing then what we saw in this opening was, we obviously saw Shonen Bat himself, like, rollers skating his way towards the camera, towards us, and like swinging. So I'm guessing that, you know, the fact that we see that, and the fact that we see so many characters like just staring at us and laughing, like, I'm guessing those are the victims, but I don't know why they're laughing. Like, is it a case of like they're laughing because you know, the whole situation or the whole scenario was kind of like cuckoo crazy, like there's just someone riding around on rollerblades, like beating people up, and nobody's been able to catch him, nobody's been able to point out who it is, nobody's been able to stop them, and everyone's been completely defenseless? Is it kind of like this situation where they laugh about it beforehand and then they're beat down, and then suddenly like they're maybe being laughed at because people don't believe them, or people don't understand them, or people don't take it seriously? Like, I don't know really how to interpret the laughing, but it's definitely very disturbing, and it's very creepy and ominous and weird. I love the Susumu Hirasawa track. The track was definitely Hirasawa like core. Like, it was this real, like, a wall of sound with like the voice, you know, shining through, but it's very melodic, but at the same time, like, it felt very loopy, like it was on a loop. So I'm picturing like forces from Berserk, like doodle, like there's just this looping sound in the background. Like it's kind of reminding me, it's what it reminded me of. The structure of the series is kind of episodic, where each one is dedicated to a victim, following their already broken lives in the lead up to the arrival of the bat. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess then, yeah, I don't know, like that's really sad, and I would love to check the series out. Like I did mention, or maybe I haven't mentioned, but I have seen Paprika. I've seen Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue is nearly perfect in my eyes. Like Perfect Blue is a really damn great movie. It is such a great watch, and I wish I could watch it again for the first time. It's one of those films, like I have some series, like, you know, I've got Berserk 97, Attack on Titan, Perfect Blue, like just a small handful. Like there's more of these works, anime works, that I wish I could experience for the first time again. And you know, the fact that there's more Satoshi Kon content that's embarrassing, content out there that I haven't experienced yet is really exciting to me, and it's just like cool. Like I would love to check out more of his work, especially on the channel. You can experience kaiju for the first time. So the fact that there's more Satoshi Kon content out there, and there's Hirasawa content out there that I haven't experienced either, is really exciting, and I would honestly love to check that out in the channel. I know I did run a poll during Halloween season, during October, where I asked you guys to vote for which series you would like to see me react to, and Devilman Crybaby was the overwhelming winner there, and Paranoia Agent sadly I think came in last place. But most of the comments in the poll were saying that Paranoia Agent is the best series of the four, in their opinion, and that it's a really great series, but it's more psychological than horror. And honestly, like, that's something I would love to check out. I would really honestly love to check it out in the channel. It doesn't have to be for Halloween season. Maybe I'll check it out sometime on the channel. I would just love to have that experience of a new Satoshi Kon work, and one that the opening itself, like, just really, it's going to stick with me. Like this opening is going to stick with me, and knowing that it's going to stick with me is just going to make me want to watch the series even more. Kon produced all his major works at Madhouse, a source of immense pride for founder Masao Maruyama, who formed both MAPPA and M2, who did Pluto. Interesting. With the goal of completing Kon's last project, Dreaming Machine, a task he has since confessed impossible to accurately achieve, as Kon simply had no true equal. Yeah, Satoshi's Kon genius it's incredible. Like, it's a shame that his final work will go unfinished, and it's kind of like Kentaro Miura, you know, to bring Berserk back into things, where sadly Miura's true vision and his full vision for the series of Berserk will never actually be realized, but we will at least, in a sense, get the ending for Berserk, with, you know, a close friend of his adapting what he knows about what was to come through conversations he had with Miura himself. I think that's a beautiful thing, and it's a real shame that Dreaming Machine will not maybe ever see the light of day. And like, it's really sad, but you know, if that is the case, you know, at least we know that it's a case of Kon's genius not being comparable and not being able to be replicated. Like Maruyama said, he could probably bring in someone like Hosoda, who did Bell, who rose up alongside Kon in the same era, but it would then just become a Hosoda film rather than a Kon work, is what he said. Yeah, that's a damn shame. But at the same time, I would love for a Kon work to see the light of day, even if it isn't a Kon work. Like, I would just love for there to be that one more work of his that everyone knows is Satoshi Kon. Like, if that makes sense. I think it would be really, really really fun and really cool to see that happen one day, maybe. This opening having these visuals coupled with a Hirasawa track, like it genius. Genius. The visuals and the track both match each other's freak. Like this is the anime song opening and visual. Like I said, this is just matching their freak, and it was perfect. Satoshi Kon, Susumu Hirasawa, geniuses both in their own field, and the fact that they work together is just incredible. And yeah, that's I think all I'm going to say on this opening, number 9. Number 10 is coming up next, which is going to be the final opening for this episode, this video, sorry. If you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like. Please be sure to comment down below, letting me know what your favorite opening is that I checked out today, and then as well what your favorite series is that I checked out today. So it doesn't have to be the same opening and series. And, you know, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Ring the bell if you wanna, and I will be for sure uploading more anime content very soon, but we are going to move straight on to opening number 10. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what we get next. So opening number 10, not wasting any time whatsoever, just jumping headfirst into this opening. I cannot wait. Okay, this is Mononoke-esque again. Samurai Champloo, okay. This is done by the guy who did Cowboy Bebop, right? Because it looks very similar, like character styles and stuff. Also, like, this is so different from anything else, like this anime opening. A freelancer. Sorry, I'm not saying a whole lot. I'm just kind of vibing. Some nights. The animation here is so fluid. This looks sick. Praying mantis. Oh, I love the dynamic like expressions that they all have. Like they all look so different in the way that they're expressing their, you know, feelings. Oh, okay, that might be on the thumbnail right there. That's sick. That looks so cool. that was very, very stylish right there. Me and Trio just walking away out of frame. Samurai Champloo. They knew they were cooking with this, that they just ended it with a vinyl. That's really cool. That was Samurai Champloo, released between 2004 and 2005 in 2 different parts by Manglobe, who did Ergo Proxy and Dead Man Wonderland. Really? I would never have pictured that team working on this, because this looked so different from the style I saw in those 2 openings, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, it looks nothing like those 2 series, but that's really cool. It's kind of like it's reminding me, like, taking it back, I mentioned the Mononoke opening. You know, that looks nothing like the Toei style I'm used to. So I think it's really cool seeing these different animation studios producing different styles and different looks and everything like that. Just so badass and so cool. Written and directed by the Shinichiro Watanabe, who did Cowboy Bebop, Kids on the Slope, and Carol and Tuesday. Funnily enough, so I've seen Cowboy Bebop in my own time, so I will not be reacting to Tank on the channel, sadly. It would have been a great one to check out because it's such a fun, jazzy, bluesy opening. But the Kids on the Slope opening and Carol and Tuesday opening, those were incredible openings that still stick with me. The Carol and Tuesday opening especially, I think about it a lot. I listen to it on Spotify here and there, and I think that funnily enough, Watanabe, any anime that they direct has a killer opening. Like, this is incredible, this opening here, right here. The openings listed over there, all incredible as well. For the series listed there, incredible. And I think that it's really, really cool then that we get to hear Watanabe directing anime with different sounds. Like, this is very I don't know what kind of sound or style you would call this. It's very like lo-fi almost. It sounds very downbeat, and it's very kind of, I don't know if you'd call it R&B-ish. I don't know, like I don't know what I would call this style of song, but it's so different from the other ones. Like Carol and Tuesday sounded more like a kind of pop song. Kids on the Slope sounded very upbeat, like very hopeful, and then just everything's so different. This was, yeah, bebop was jazz. This is hip hop. Yeah, so cool. I think that it's really cool that there's so many different styles and all these different openings with music provided by the great Nujabes. Owing to its importance as Watanabe's next major work after Cowboy Bebop, this series is a classic amongst the Adult Swim generation. The song is Battlecry by the DJ Nujabes and rapper Shing02. Really great opening. The song, instantly memorable. Like, it's in my head. I'm already like just playing it in my head over and over again. I think that the choice to like I know that I know at the very beginning I was like, oh, okay. I thought we were going back to Mononoke. I'll be honest. I thought we were getting a follow-up to the Mononoke opening, seeing like this kind of tapestry right here. So I was like, okay, we're heading back in that direction. But then it immediately starts showing katanas and this kind of like silhouette look. It's really, really cool. Set in an alternate feudal Japan, Fu wishes to find a certain samurai who smells of sunflowers, and through a series of events hires two bodyguards to help her on this quest. One is the brash and wild Mugen, the other is the Mugen Train. The other is the traditional and precise Jin, both regularly finding themselves at odds with one another to the point of near death without the intervention of Fu. The trio embark on their journey, experiencing all the oddities one can conceive in a structure similar to Bebop. Oh, so it's a similar structure in the sense that it doesn't necessarily have this overarching story that plays out within each episode, but it has this story that will be referenced here and there, and each episode is kind of its own thing. It's kind of like an episodic series. Is that what you mean in the similar structure? Because I know Cowboy Bebop, while I was watching it, I was kind of like confused because I'd never seen an anime series like it where it didn't necessarily follow a structure of keeping to the overarching story, and instead it followed an episodic format. So it kind of like had me scratching my head, especially in the first handful of episodes where I was like, when are we going to get to the story? But then I grew to appreciate it and love it more, the more episodes that went on. So if that's the case with this as well, I'd be really interested in it, because not only is the setting really interesting this time around, set in an alternate feudal Japan, I think it's really cool that we get to experience something so uniquely different, but still so Watanabe. Like this opening, the silhouettes and the way things are moving, you could say that this would remind you of the visuals themselves. Take away the song and just present the visuals, like the way that it's done, the style. You could say it reminds you of Tank from Cowboy Bebop. It's a sort of similar premise in the setup of the visuals, where we get characters sliding into frame, we get character silhouettes, we get these kind of shots of the characters running, and similar-ish. I'm not saying it's the exact same, but similar-ish, that to the point where I can see comparisons to the prior work. And I think that's badass. Nujabes is credited by many as the godfather of what we now know as lo-fi hip-hop. Okay, yeah, so I was right then in saying it sounded lo-fi. That girl is not finding beats to relax/study to without the work of Nujabes. Is it Nujabes or Nujabes? Like, is it a J or a H sound? A lot of acclaim credited to him has unfortunately come posthumously. Oh no, as the man himself tragically died in a traffic collision in 2010. That's awful. At the age of 36, that's so young. And like hearing this sound and this song alone, like I can't imagine what more this man had to offer to the world. That's actually awful. Champloo was his only work in anime, and thus the series just embodies a unique vibe within the medium, his music being its most cherished aspect, provenly decades ahead of its time. Yeah, that's this guy was a genius. Like this anime opening was incredible. Like I was just vibing the entire time. I feel like this opening, and maybe the one before, because I was just pulling a face the entire time, but this opening, Samurai Champloo, it just like got me in the zone. Like I was just really vibing with it, and I had my mouth shut. I was just listening and I was just watching. I was really enjoying this. Pinthony Saintano. Yeah, this was dripping in so much style. Like, I could go through this frame by frame, but you could just, it's so good. Is there a kind of like an importance or relevance to the animals that we see alongside these characters? Like, I'm guessing this is Mugen because he looked a little more erratic than the other character that you mentioned earlier, and I know that you did say Mugen was kind of the brash one of the two, brash and wild, you said. So I'm guessing this is Mugen. I don't know what the importance of a rooster or chicken is behind him, but I'm guessing it's kind of related to his character in some sense. Yeah, I know I should be analyzing, but I don't know what the hell a chicken means. Like, does Mugen translate to chicken? I'm guessing that the kind of the chicken, you know, kind of symbolism here might be because he's like a headless chicken. But if that was the case, why does the chicken have a head here? Roosters, yeah, I don't know. They're a week before everyone. I don't know. I don't know what rooster or chicken means. But then we see this guy in front of a bunch of fish. I'm guessing this is the other character that was mentioned before, who is Jin. And Jin is someone who looks like they are a lot more cool, a lot more composed, and someone who kind of you know, it's like water, you know, like fish. They follow the stream, they follow the tides, they move with the water. And I'm guessing Jin is kind of like that. He's kind of someone who, you know, he moves with the time. He's very, you know, anytime he makes a stroke with his sword, it's precise, it's thought out, and it's very fluid. Whereas maybe the symbolism or imagery of Mugen before with the chicken, it's kind of symbolizing that he's crazy and he's erratic, and a chicken will just run around like crazy and there's no thought behind it. It's just like swing, swing, swing. Maybe that's what the symbolism means. But yeah, it's so beautiful. Like, I love that there's so many different kind of styles present. Like, we have this look right here where the lines are thick, the shadows are thick, and against a background where it looks like very traditionally drawn. And then we cut to here where it's kind of like, you know, it's very colorful. It's not as in your face, I guess, but at the same time, like, it's so cool. I love this kind of look as well. Like this, like, it's like a, what's it called, like pagola? What's that, like a Japanese building? Pagola. I don't know. Yeah, this orange screenshot's so cool. I love the use of this orange. It's a pagoda. Yeah, pagoda. This kind of like really interesting take on like a pagoda, where it's like all these buildings stacked on top of one another. It's really interesting. Seeing the cloud right here, it's so unique looking with the like sun behind it, I guess. And then it's, I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. It's reminding me of that one Bleach opening where it has like that really bright orange background. Everything in this opening was so thought out, so precise, so killer, badass, and amazing, and I cannot get over it. This shot right here of them like standing up, I feel like I've seen that replicated before. I guess what I might be thinking of is like the Abyss Watchers. If you know, you know. I don't know like what else to compare it to, but I feel like I've seen like shots like this replicated in other mediums or in other series, where it's just like someone standing up and then others standing up behind them. I guess, like, is there a shot in like the first Demon Slayer opening where it's showing the Hashiras all standing up, or does it just show them all? I feel like, you know, you see stuff like this all the time and it's so cool. It's really badass. And yeah, I would love to make this just the entire thumbnail, but I might actually make this the background of the thumbnail. Yeah, everything about this opening was just oozing in cool, oozing in badass. The lo-fi hip-hop sound was so unique and different, and it was really, really cool. And I would love to hear more like this. And and this opening is an all-timer. It's going down as one of my favorites that I've checked out in this channel already. It was a great one to end this video on. It capped off an already great video. It capped off what was a great list of 2000s anime openings, and I think that in terms of presenting like an all-round kind of like it really like this video might embody like the 2000s kind of all over the place nature more than any others, because we got openings like the very first two, Darker Than Black, which kind of had this feel to them, although they came later in the 2000s. They kind of had this feel of like an older 2000s opening, and then, you know, we got openings like this which are completely different, like a great range of openings here, and I'm really over the moon. And I think this one right here, this Samurai Champloo opening, is gonna be one that I think about a lot now. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you stick around and that you check out some of the other content on the channel. I will be back with more for sure. Next up on the list is going to be retro anime openings. I have been told that it's going to be a pretty long list. Pinecino over here has told me that the next retro video is going, or the next retro recording is going to be like 18 openings long, so expect 2 videos out of that, I would imagine. Cannot wait to get to that. Thank you guys for all the support. If you guys like gaming content, I do have gaming content over on my gaming channel at Jasmer_games. I am playing Silent Hill 2. I am playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, both the PS2 versions, and I'm having a great time with them, and I really can't wait to jump back into them and keep playing them, and I hope that you guys will check it out if you enjoy that kind of content. Please leave a like for this video if you enjoyed it. Please comment, like I said, letting me know your favorite series from this list and your favorite opening from this list. I suspect there's going to be a lot of battle cries and Samurai Champloos in the comments below for your guys' favorites, because this is obviously a very iconic series. It's one that I haven't seen before, obviously, if I'm checking it out today. But yeah, this was great. And you know, subscribe if you haven't already. It means a lot, and we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely bonkers. It's insane to me. So you guys are great, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day and take care.